What's up, YouTube? Suge Knight probably had his most epic interview from prison when he called in on PBD Podcast with Patrick Bet-David. Guys, I'm Corey, and welcome to my channel, Let's Talk with Corey. If this is your first time tuning in, hit that subscribe button. Suge Knight went deep, and he expressed his opinion about a lot of the stuff that's been happening, especially with Diddy, and whether Diddy was an FBI informant or a sacrificial lamb. Guys, I'm gonna let you check out some of the clips from this podcast. Again, it is audio coming from a San Diego prison, but I tell you what, Suge Knight was dropping some straight bombs about the information that he was sharing from his own experiences, but these were his opinions, guys, so don't run with this. Again, it is Suge Knight's opinions based on his own experiences. There was some funny stuff that he said, but I'm not going to be able to put it all on my video because it's someone else's content, and this is a reaction that you guys get to speak on, and I definitely want you guys to leave a comment. So guys, check this out.
We have a special guest here with us today, Suge Knight from R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility, prison in San Diego. Suge, for those of you that obviously follow hip-hop, his background, co-founder of Death Row Records, at one point $750 million of generated revenue. I think one year they sold 60 million records, 150 million total records sold. They had some of the biggest albums ever, signing Eazy, Snoop, Dre, Tupac, Nate Dogg, Corrupt, MC Hammer, Warren G. The list goes on. Suge, it's great to have you on the podcast today.
Hey, great being on here.
And I appreciate that. By the way, you know, one of the things I think is important for the audience to know is the fact that you just said, look, whatever Pat wants to ask, I want to have all the conversations, any questions, nothing's off the table. Is that correct?
I like Pat. And one of the things that I always feel, if you're ever going to do something and have a platform, it's about telling your truth to the next person's truth to help the generation.
I agree. By the way, Suge, did you by any chance, before we get started, did you ever have a chance to watch the Cat Williams podcast with Shay with Shannon Sharpe? Did you watch the whole thing?
Well, number one, you know, that's family. At the same time, I'm in the penitentiary to watch that. But I heard about it like the whole world did. I heard it was a great interview.
Now, let me ask you, Suge, your experience with Cat. If for the audience, you and Cat have hung out, who is Cat to you? Is he a stand-up guy, good friend, relationship guy that you could trust?
So I can trust him.
Okay.
And I don't say that about too many people, but at the same time, you know, Cat is who he is. And if you really want to understand Cat, he on tour right now. Go buy one tickets per row and you can hear it all. He's going to tell the truth. So that's the best way to find out about track.
Even from there, you're selling tickets. You can't, no matter where you're selling. No, the only reason I asked this question is because when he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, and I know you played in the NFL before, when he did this interview with Shannon Sharpe, everywhere, everybody was talking, but also people were quiet. I want to play one of the clips, Rob. If you can play the clip of what Cat said to Shannon Sharpe about Diddy. I just want you to hear this since you haven't heard the whole thing. This is just a snippet of what Cat said about Diddy. Go for it.
Big deviants is all catching hell in 2024. It's up for all of them. It don't matter if you Diddy or whoever you is. TG Jakes, any of them. All lies will be exposed. That's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way know why they take it the wrong way.
Now, when this came out, he went after, you know, Diddy. He went after TDJ. He went after a lot of people in the space. Had you, Cat, and Diddy, did you guys ever party together, three of you guys? I know you and Diddy spent some time together, but did you, Cat, and Diddy ever spend time together?
I'm not gonna say I never had a threesome. But I damn sure ain't had no threesome with no men. So you talking about have me and
no, that's not what I'm asking.
Threesome hung out together. What you trying to do? I mean, have you said, not me.
Well, listen, that is becoming an everyday something new pops up where it's no longer a surprise nowadays.
And your telephone number is monitored and recorded.
But I guess the question I'm asking is, did you, Cat, and did you, Diddy, and Cat ever hang out where? And the reason why I'm asking this, where you actually personally witnessed some of the accusations that Diddy is having, saying the fact that he had cameras in the room.
Okay. Well, this is the thing I'm gonna tell you. We from two different worlds, number one, him and I. Number two, I'm the guy they didn't want to invite to those parties, and I'm glad of it. I've never been happy to be left out of my life. But at the same time, I'm not the guy who's here for Puffy's downfall. But I am the guy who supports the victims who got victimized, right? But at the same time, whatever the situation is, everybody knows it's wrong. And I don't think he can get punished as hard as a regular person because, you know, he used to be an FBI informant for a long time, they say. So I'm quite sure that play a role.
You're saying...
Asking the question, me, Cat, and Puffy, we had no reason to be hanging out. Me and Cat and not me and Puffy. So that's that.
Got it. So you're saying Diddy's an FBI informant, and he's been one for many years.
That's what they say. Nothing never happens, but it's still, like I said, it ain't my business. Well, I said that because anybody else gaffered up quick, fast, in a hurry. But, you know, the most important thing about this is that with me, you got some people will have an opinion on something either they weren't a part of or they wasn't there. And I never want to be that type of person because, you know, there's only so many people who had Tupac or seen Tupac or talked to Tupac. And I feel that way because I often hear so many Tupac stories from people who never met him, people who wasn't around. Then you had the ones that if they worked at McDonald's and they took Tupac orders, that don't mean they know Tupac. Or you was doing security or whatever, that don't mean you know the man. All these people have been benefiting and capitalizing on trying to put the man down or lie on him or tell some stories that they wasn't there or they know anything about. Because I don't think none of these people are psychic. And I'm not. You know what happened to the last psychic bitch? She ended up, whoever her name was, the fake roster boys. You know what happened to her when it all went bad. So I don't like to speculate. So I just tell the truth how it is.
Now, from your perspective, though, you actually spend time with Diddy. When you used to go to New York, you would spend time with him, and he would spend time with you. When he would come, you guys would go hang out together with obviously other peers. Did you notice anything around Diddy where you said, this is a little bit, you know, obviously there's a woman, you're having a good time, you're partying, you're doing your thing, but did you ever see anything where it was out of line where you said, I think this guy likes men, or I think he likes certain things that's a little weird?
Well, all due respect to Puffy, you got to realize one thing. He didn't start off like that. I'm quite sure somebody taught him that, and that's more deep in the industry. These guys who got involved with a lot of people who was their mentors, instead of having a guy to mentor your own father, they was having these guys they mentored. And when that happens in the industry, it was done to them, they do to the next person. So I felt that Puffy was a regular, normal guy. And then when he started hanging with the guys in the industry, they did things to him, and then allegedly he did things to Usher. It goes on and on. Well, we got to stop this pointing the finger at the person who gets caught with their hand in the cookie jar. Where did it start from? But see, people don't want to touch on those angles if it started being the major executives who run these labels. So you guys want to speak on the people who got thrown under the bus, the sacrifice lamb.
Okay, well, that's actually very insightful for you to give that perspective. So if you're saying what Diddy did to Usher or what Diddy did to Bieber, that we've seen these videos, not necessarily what he did, but the stories where he's living with them at 13. If he was their mentor, who was Diddy's mentor? We know some of the big names. I'm just curious if you have any names. You don't seem like somebody...
Well, for number one was Clyde Davis. And you got to understand one thing. If Death Row, when I started Death Row, you got to remember one thing. I didn't have no co-founder, nobody else. So I started that company on my own and grabbed Dr. Dre. At the end of the day, it was like this. When you have, say Universal is one big company. Doug Morris is the man at the time. Jimmy Iovine's there. If Doug Morris give Puffy a deal worth a whole lot of money, and the album didn't recoup. Otherwise, basically like flop didn't recoup. they're not going to give you no new money if they don't recoup the old money. But Puffy was able to go to the same umbrella and go to Jimmy and get just much even bigger check that Doug gave him, even though have not recouped. Only certain people can get these type of favors. Now, in my situation, I didn't do anything to lose my company. I didn't do anything illegal to get my company taken away from me. They was able to commit fraud for my company, but it ends up to the hands of people who want to buy my company for $500 million, $700 million. I kept saying no, and then turn around, they can get block everybody and end up getting it for what, 20 or 30 million, which is crazy. If you add all that type of stuff up, and you'll see how the industry been built on the secret rooms. The people who don't participate in the secret room is the people who later on get burnt. The people who participate in those rooms, they continue to grow. Even when they get caught, they're not really caught. Because obviously, the Puppy knew they was coming to the raid. The security wasn't there. He used to have like 4, 6 Muslim guys doing security. They wasn't there. A lot of people wasn't there. How do people know all these things? It wasn't just courting this. You know?
But what point are you trying to make here when you're talking about the Freemason and Illuminati? One is driven by love, the other one is driven by God, and the other one is driven by the devil. What do you mean when you're saying these guys are selling their souls? What does that selling your souls mean?
Because most of the time when they go to these meetings at the major entities at these companies, they joke and talk about these type of things. And regardless they believe it or not, it's always a joke.
It sounds like you're somewhat defending Diddy a little bit and protecting him and putting more the onus on some of the guys at the top. But if I just want to ask one question. I want to ask one question. If you were to...
I'm just going to correct you right there.
Go for it.
Let me ask you a question since you said this.
Go ahead.
There's no puzzle. Me and Puppy, not friends, never will be friends.
Okay.
And damn sure ain't scared of him. I ain't scared of nobody but God. It's not about I'm protecting him. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm not going to... I know a lot of stuff is true that he been got caught doing, but I'm not going to tell you something I wasn't in the room. If I was in the room with that motherfucker, you shouldn't be talking to me, because if you was in the room with Diddy, I wouldn't be talking to you. If he was in there and he was telling you, take that, take that, take that, take that. You think me you go be conversating? I'm like, no. At the end of the day, I believe in what I believe in.
Okay, guys, you heard Suge Knight. I'm going to put a link in the bottom of the description so that you guys can watch this interview in its entirety. That was put together from prison in San Diego. So the calls had to be broken up into pieces because of the length of the phone calls. They only can talk so long on the phone. But I tell you what, Suge Knight had a lot of information, guys. I couldn't put it all on this video. But guys, again, I'll leave a link for you guys to check out so you can go and watch it in its entirety. But guys, for what you could hear, what's your thoughts about what Suge Knight had to say in the game? But guys, as always, leave a comment. Thanks for the pull-up. Let's talk with Corey. Let's talk with Corey out.